Hello, my name is Mitch Du Preez. I'm 16 years old and I'm from East London, South Africa. I started surfing on a trip to Mozambique when I was about 10 years old, and my dad took us into the water and the water was nice and blue and warm, and he just pushed us into a couple of waves, and I was just so hooked on the feeling. It was amazing. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Bryce DuPreez. I'm 18 years old and I'm from a pretty small town just outside of East London in South Africa. My dad got us into surfing even though he doesn't surf here. When we were in Mozambique, when I was probably about 10 years old, he pushed us into a couple of white waters, and then didn't really get hooked then. And then when I was 11, the year I turned 11, went with a couple of friends who surfed out at our local spot, and from then just really enjoyed spending time in the ocean with friends and the feeling of riding waves.
Hi, I'm Aimee Du Preez. I'm from East London, South Africa. I started surfing when I was about 10, when my brothers took me out to our home spot, and I wasn't too keen on it then. I was a bit scared, but then tried again actually in PE, and really had so much fun with it, and then did Grom Games and was hooked ever since then. I was always kind of at the contest since I was like 10, just supporting my brothers. And then when I turned, I'd say 12, I did like my first one and really loved it, and thought, why must I sit on the beach when I can be in the water?
All our friends used to surf contests, and we started getting interested in how the contest scene was working and how they were doing it and everything. And our parents weren't too keen at first. They didn't really want us to get too competitive with surfing, just wanted it to be a fun sport. And then we ended up going in our summer series. We have like small events at the beginning of the year for junior surfers in East London, and we ended up going to those, and we just enjoyed all the aspects of being around the beach with our friends and getting to surf our heats, and it was just so much fun. And after that, transferred to the we made our provincial teams, went and travelled and got to surf in more contests, and I don't know, it was just so much fun surfing against all the different people, and started surfing bigger and bigger events, and ended up, now we're going around the country surfing contests. I think when I was about 12 years old, I surfed my first big event at the Ruka Junior Challenge at Point in J-Bay, and the waves were just firing, and I ended up making it all the way to the final, and it was a back and forth final, and I was able to get the score right at the end. And after that, I was just like, no, this is what I want to do. This is so thrilling, and I just love everything about it.
I'd been surfing for only about 1 year, I think, and I was just enjoying it. Never really thought about contests because my parents were saying, just always told us, okay, this must be like a release for you, an escape when you feel like you need to let go of some stress or whatever. Then we wanted to become something that we focused on, just getting better at, or winning at. So, but then we were in Coffee Bay with some friends, and my parents said, oh no, there's a little fun contest happening in East London if you want to do it. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll give it a try. And then from then it was awesome, just hanging out on the beach with friends, getting to surf a heat. My parents are big on, if you start something, you got to finish it, and being persistent. So I just kept trying, and then say when I was about 14, my family and I started to do the circuit around South Africa. From every contest, it was great to gain experience and learn, and meeting new people and just making new friends was amazing. Finally, after being persistent and just keeping up routines, finally ended up getting my first win yesterday, which was pretty cool. So just I think I enjoy contests because it gives you something to keep motivated about, and just to make sure that you're looking after yourself and trying to better yourself. That can be translated over into everyday life, just wanting to be determined to reach your goals. So it's been great in that aspect.
We would always go to coaching with Greg Gamesley in East London, and he would always do practice heats, and I would always surf against both my brothers, which is very hard for me because they would always get big scores and I would never beat them. And then I think one heat at our home break, we did practice one, and I finally beat one of my brothers. obviously not the same scores and things, but like for scoring. But for me being a girl and them being a boy, I finally beat them in one of the heats and I was stoked. Surfing with them also made me progress a lot faster with all the moves they were trying. I would always try and do my best to do those moves and get my moves right fast. So it's helped me a lot, and they always coach me if we don't have a coach or anything. They're really good coaches for me.
Well, because my brother and I are quite similar in age, we always surf against each other in the older divisions, and when I always end up coming against him, and I never want to lose to him. And I don't think he ever wants to lose to me, so even when we're not surfing in contest, we try and push each other and do little mock heats and make like little prizes, see who wins. See if I see him do something crazy and I want to do that, I want to go and I'm going to go try to do that as well as I can. And about having siblings that surf is that we all have one thing that we all have a common interest about and all love doing, and it's just so special to share it with your siblings and your family. And it's just so awesome seeing one of your brothers and your sisters get great waves, and it just amps you up too, and it just connects us all together.
Having siblings that surf as well, being my brother and sister, it's been really great, especially where we live, because there's no one that surfs that spot too often, so it's normally just the three of us out. If one person's not training as hard or preparing as well as they should, you can say, hey, come on, step it up. And in the water, just always pushing each other. And my brother and I are really close in age, so we often have to surf against each other, which is kind of a bummer when one of us gets knocked out. But it's always good to, in the water, always pushing each other, but not in a competitive way, but are always happy for one another when we do well. And for our sister, she's a bit younger, also just to part a little bit of what we've learned onto her to help her not make the same mistakes as we have in competing or surfing or whatever it be. It's been awesome.
When I was younger, I always used to look up to a lot of older girls who would surf and always think, oh, I want to surf like this girl, I want to have sponsors like this girl, I want to do really well like this girl. And getting to know the girls and getting them to help you with your surfing and everything helped me a lot, and I hope one day I'll be able to do the same for younger kids.
Yeah, when I was younger, I always used to surf with all the older guys, and I remember they would come up and I would just be so nervous. They're coming past me like, oh, I know that guy. And when they said hello to me, it felt like such a compliment, and if I had a conversation with them, I was like, oh, that's an added bonus. So I just feel like I want to have conversations with the younger guys, encourage them, because I know how much it meant when I was younger.
So it always means a lot when people that you look up to, or especially people you look up to, pay you some attention and they're like, oh, you're doing so well, keep it up, or just give you some encouragement or advice. And we have that a lot where we live in East London. The older guys are super encouraging and are not scared to part of some of the information and knowledge that they've gained over the years to us, and it just keeps you inspired to carry on trying your best. And I hope that I can do the same for younger kids coming up, and just to keep encouraging them and just being friendly and showing some love towards them, and just helping them feel that like we believe in them and that they can do it too. Like any other sport, I suppose there's some challenges, and for us has been tossing schoolwork with the surfing, and like whenever we have to go away, we have to rush and get ahead of our schoolwork, and at times do schoolwork while we're away, which can be pretty tough. And again, like it's cool to have siblings to keep you accountable, saying, come on, we've got to do more schoolwork. Or another thing that's been a bit of a challenge at times is learn just trust, just believing in yourself. And like a lot of times others may believe in you, but well, especially for me, didn't believe that I could do it myself. So that's been a bit of a challenge to overcome, but just with help of coaches and family, and just trusting that the Lord's got a plan for me has been great.
So in 2011, our parents took us out of school for a term so that we can go travel around South Africa in our motorhome. And while we were doing we took our schoolwork along with us, and we were able to get our schoolwork done so quickly, and we were learning so much more just out of the mainstream of school. And while that was happening, my parents thought, why don't we start homeschooling and we can travel around Africa. So the following year we started traveling around Southern Africa, went to places like Mozambique and Zimbabwe and all these new amazing places, and learning so much around a curriculum and getting our work done on the way. And yeah.
We were actually learning about the places that we were traveling to in person, learning the history behind it. So it was amazing to associate what you were learning and actually seeing it in real life. Traveling as a family in a tight space at times was quite challenging, but it allows you to learn to communicate really well with one another and brings you closer together. So I think it was a great bonding experience for all of us, and we ended up learning to surf on these trips, so that was also a bonus.
The experiences were really fun. All the things we got to do when we were younger, we'll remember forever. Didn't always understand everything that was going on because I was very young, but I understand the cool places and the cool experiences with my brothers and mom and dad.